Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Merry Christmas Eve. I slept in this morning, so I'm getting a little bit of a late start today, but it's welcome because I'm used to getting up at 6 a.m. to get the kids up and ready for school. So, it's very nice to be able to sleep in till 8 o'clock. So, which also means that I am barely awake. Just kidding. I'm awake, but barely. But how is it going, everyone? How is Christmas Eve going for you? Do you have any plans? Are you staying in town? Are you gonna go visit family? How's that all going? Um, we are my mom is normally the ones that we go to visit for Christmas. So she uh, already moved to North Carolina without us. So we're what I would call homeless, but not really. We get to be adults. We get to we get to have our own Christmas. We get to um, spend time with our kids. Today we are going to go see Wicked in the theaters. I have two girls that are 11 and 6, so we're going to go test that out, see how that goes in the theaters, and then just chill. We're gonna have a real chill, easy, laid back Christmas, which is very welcome, especially when a lot of the things have been going, especially around the holidays. But uh, so that being said, I my message that went out on Monday was talking a little bit about how you do one thing is how you do everything. Well, uh, me personally, I am one of those people that is like I fill my time. So my like I'm in a spot thinking about the next thing that we're gonna go do. So the problem with that, and that this is, one of those saboteurs when you come down to emotional intelligence, um, it's considered the restless. So the restless is its lie is that you can't live in the moment, that you have to constantly be going. And then I have that mixed with the pleaser. So I'm very worried about everybody else's experiences, what their emotions are. Um, so it's like I I come from a place where it's hard to live in the moment because I'm worried about everybody else. I'm not as worried about myself. And then I'm also wanting to get to do all the things. So when I would plan vacations, I would fill it with all of the experiences. I would book all of the tours. Mommy, look, my mom's on. All right. So, how was your trip to PA? How was your drive? Look at that. See, my mom is going to be with me for Christmas. But yes, so I would plan my vacation so that we we would wake up and go to do like a excursion or whatever, and I would fill the time to where we're on vacation and we're not really vacationing because we're not uh, relaxing. So this was a constant theme that was going on in my life. Like I was so I was running around doing all the things. And sometimes it gets like that. Like recently with the retreats that I did in November. Oh, hey Devin. But the retreats in November, it was like back to back. So, you know, when you think about how you do one thing is how you do everything, certain traumas, certain emotions, certain beliefs systems are going to bleed into many areas of life. Basically, it's the interconnectedness of our thoughts, our behaviors, our patterns. It's across many areas. So that could be your health, your business, your family life, your intimate life, your um, friendships. So if you procrastinate on a project, like it could be business, work, whatever, you are also likely to put off personal tasks, or you might avoid difficult conversations, or if you struggle with self doubt, you may struggle with that in your career, but you also experience it in your relationships or your pursuits, your personal pursuits. So the thing is, like our subconscious is it doesn't compartmentalize our experiences. These patterns and beliefs, when we develop it in one area, it tends to spill out into others. So when you're getting down to that root, it creates a ripple effect that can over like impact our overall well-being and success. So when you have childhood trauma, when you come back to like not even trauma, like the micro traumas, like say you were told to be quiet, or um, to go away, or that you notice that somebody's not paying attention to you when you wanted to show them something really cool, or you really needed their attention, you had a specific need that needed to be met. If your needs were dismissed, it may end up manifesting into struggling to speak up for yourself in career, in relationships, in friendships. So these are all, oh, and now Devin's texted me. Hi. But, when you have challenges that manifest from different things, like think about like relationships. You might have difficulty setting boundaries, or you attract unhealthy relationships or partners, or you repeat these patterns of codependency, or relationship wise, you may have like a fear of failure. You may self sabotage. You may have difficulty reaching your full potential. You have a promotion that you don't think you're worthy of applying for. Financially, you could have like a scarcity mindset, or difficulty managing money, or attracting abundance. And then health. That could be chronic stress, anxiety, physical ailments that stem from unresolved emotional trauma. So I talk a lot about the emotions are getting trapped inside of your body. So when they are trapped, if you've ever seen or read The Body Keeps the Score, emotions are the primary thing that they can link back pains and digestive issues, anxiety and overwhelm and disease. So that's sitting in your body. It's festering. It's creating this thing that's bigger than it is. And until we release that, then we're going to continue to struggle. We're going to continue to get sicker. So again, like it's the sciencey part of it. Like it sounds very woo woo. Like to a lot of my healthcare people, like we're all sciencey mind. We all have that. We want evidence, right? But they're tracing it back in the scientific community that, depending on mindset, even like people that are in cancer treatments, one has a negative mindset, one has a positive mindset. And the one with the positive mindset is more likely to go into remission, or, be cancer free. And conversely is true, right? So all of these things, they're being linked back to our mind. Our ailments are being linked back to our emotions, things that have been sitting and festering inside of our body, inside of our mind, making us think that we can't do it. So, this is where the good news comes in, is like you don't have to suffer from it. You don't have to keep it buried down and hidden and deep. Like we're very much trained. Society has trained us, they've programmed us to stuff down our emotions, to not show our our anger, or you're a crybaby if you cry, So, excuse me. All of these things are we're taught. We didn't come out not showing emotion when we're babies, right? We're taught that it's not okay to show it. So then we're used to stuffing it down and stuffing it down. And sometimes we will release. Sometimes we're going to have this like explosive, like emotional release where, you know, it just all comes out at once when you didn't mean to. And it's bigger than it started out to be. But the more that we're in this cycle of stuffing, the bigger it gets and the more it creates problems. So when you start to transform your inner world, because remember, how you do one thing is how you do everything. The more you create the foundation for releasing, for joy, for experiences, living in the moment, success, expression. So I had the chance to be on a summit with a few other amazing women, and what's funny is even though the person that was putting on the summit, she didn't have necessarily a theme on this, but it was looking at yourself in the mirror and conquering that mirror demon. So it's like looking at your inner workings. So your inner self, how you view yourself, how the things that are going on inside is what creates the world around you. So if you are, you see yourself as a jerk, or that things aren't fair, or whatever, you're going to create your own reality of things around you. So if you see yourself as a jerk, you're going to start viewing people as a jerk. They're going to start acting like jerks around you. If you see yourself as a victim, you're going to put yourself into situations where you are a victim, where you get to be that victim over and over and over again, further solidifying it in your mind. That's evidence in your mind. So you're creating your reality. Somebody that's really negative is going to create more negative experiences so that they can continue to be in that cycle, to be that negative person. So you can see where I'm going with this, right? So you're creating your own reality by the thoughts that you think, by the things going on inside of you, by your belief system. So this is big on like perception as projection. I saw a really, really cool video that really broke this down. And I probably could have recreated it. I didn't bring a whiteboard with me, but if you think about your thoughts, if somebody pisses you off, right? It's like you shoot daggers, you shoot those emotions towards them. In your mind, you are sending them hate. You're sending them, whatever it is that you want to send to them, like your emotion that you're having at that time, whether it's anger or maybe sadness or hurt, sending it towards that person. Now, yes, some people may be affected by it. They may receive it. However, you sending it to them is actually sending it to yourself. So let me explain. If you are sending somebody that cut you off in traffic, you want to be angry. You want them to know that you're pissed, so you shake your fist or you give them the finger or whatever. So like you want them to experience your rage. That person is not going to give a shit. Like honestly, they are not going to care. Maybe they get worked up, or maybe you have like a little tuffle, but it's not going to completely ruin their life that they cut you off. So all of that anger, all of that hate that you're sending towards the person that cut you off in traffic essentially is coming back to you. You're getting worked up. You are the one that hate is building in, that all of these emotions are building in. It does have the potential to ruin your day. You can stew on it for the entire day. You go tell all your coworkers how that happened, all, your family members. And so that is sending not the poison to them, it's sending it back to you. So think about all the areas that you might be sending out poison, which is actually coming back to your body, to your mind, to that poison's coming right back to you. Maybe it's your boss. Maybe it's a coworker that doesn't do their job. Maybe it's your spouse. Maybe it's your kids. Maybe it's your financial situation if you have debt. So you're sending it out, but it's actually coming right back to you and creating this turmoil inside of your body, inside of your mind. And what good does that do? Right? So that's why reframing is a very great thing to do. Gratitude is a very great thing to do. It kind of turns around the energetics behind it. And not only that, but it raises your vibration. So you can only receive things in the vibrational state that you are. So yes, people that are in a lower vibrational state, every now and again, they'll get something that brings them joy, but do they appreciate it? Does that thing stay? So if you're in a very low vibration, maybe despair or anger or fear or whatever, these things will not stick around or you will not be received in that vibrational state. So it's only until you bring up your vibration, till you actually appreciate what you're given, what you're receiving, you're happy, you're excited, the emotion behind it matters. So when the universe is seeing that you're actually appreciating the gifts that it's giving you, it'll continue to bring you more. It'll continue to give you more. So again, it all comes down to what's going on in here. And I completely went down a rabbit hole, but I was talking about the summit that I was on. But all of the women that were on this summit, like almost every single one, ended up talking about what's going on inside of here. Even though it wasn't, like, it was geared towards the mirror demon, right? So this is how you see yourself, but it comes down, every single one talked about what's going on inside. So how things manifest in your outside world has everything to do with what's going on inside. So it could be clutter. It could be busyness, avoiding. It could be numbing out. It could be negativity. So anxiety, like overwhelm. All of these are symptoms. These are all the fruits on the fruit tree. These are all symptoms. So you think about an apple tree. One apple is bad. You look at the apple tree and you don't really look at the tree itself. You think it's just the one bad apple, right? So you maybe pick the apple off, you treat the apple, whatever you do. But when you start to get some more rotten apples and you start to treat those apples, that does nothing for the tree. It does nothing for the roots. So you continually look at the apples and they more and more and more start to go bad, start to go rotten until you're to this point where like the entire tree starts rotting. That's usually the point where we actually start looking inward. We have to hit that point to where everything's rotten around us, to where basically we're rock bottom, to where all the shit is just crazy, until we look inside, until we start to look at what's going on, what we're doing, what might be wrong in here. So as I was saying, how you do one thing, how you do everything, everything starts from one thing. And it starts from one root. Um, you know, you can have many roots, of course, but there's usually one that is the big hairy root. But I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you all for joining me. Appreciate my mom and my sister-in-law for being live with me and for sending me good comments. And I wish you all a Merry Christmas. If you don't celebrate it, Happy Holidays. But spend the time with your family. Enjoy the time. Enjoy the season. We are not quite cold yet in Texas, but we've been up and down, which of course messes with my voice, but and sometimes my sinuses. But yeah, we're gonna go and see Wicked today. We're gonna take it nice and chill. We're gonna just hang out, have the kids enjoy their time. You know, today is gonna be about wrapping presents as well. So I appreciate you guys for joining me. I appreciate you all for being in the community. And I will see you next Wednesday.